All right, ready to dive into something a little mind-bending.
Let's do it.
Today we're talking about foods that are, get this, almost 0 calories.
The paradox of filling yet calorie-free.
Yeah, you sent over some research on this, and honestly, I'm skeptical. How can something be filling but have practically no calories?
It really comes down to the science of how our bodies process certain foods.
Okay, I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Well, let's start with fiber, specifically something called insoluble fiber.
Insoluble fiber.
Right. It's a type of carbohydrate, but unlike other carbs, our bodies don't completely break it down.
So we eat it, but we don't get energy from it.
Exactly. That's the key to the zero-calorie thing. Take Shirataki noodles, for instance.
Shirataki noodles.
Yeah, they're often called miracle noodles. They're pretty much entirely made of this insoluble fiber.
Miracle noodles, huh? I've seen those at the store, but the name always seemed a little too good to be true.
I get it. It does sound a bit gimmicky, but the science backs it up.
Okay, so how does it work?
Your body only absorbs about 1.5 calories per gram of insoluble fiber compared to, say, 4 calories per gram for regular carbohydrates.
So you're basically getting a free pass, calorie-wise.
Pretty much. You get the feeling of fullness without the calorie load.
That's wild. So are Shirataki noodles the only food that does this?
Oh, definitely not. Lots of foods are naturally low in calories or have things like insoluble fiber that make them practically calorie-free.
Really? Like, what? Give me some examples.
Okay, think about cucumbers. They're like 97% water.
Which is why they're so refreshing.
Exactly. But that also means they're super low in calories. Only about 15 calories per 100 grams.
So you're basically just eating flavored water?
Basically. But it's a great way to stay hydrated and feel full without racking up the calories.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. What else is on this list of calorie-free wonders?
Another interesting one is sugar-free Jell-O. Satisfies that sweet craving, but comes in at a measly 5 to 10 calories per serving.
Wait, really? How is that even possible?
It's all about the ingredients. They use artificial sweeteners instead of sugar, which cuts down the calories big time.
That makes sense. So miracle noodles for savory and sugar-free Jell-O for sweet. What about vegetables? They seem like they'd be naturals in the low-calorie category.
Oh, absolutely. Vegetables are like the superstars of calorie-free eating.
And there are so many to choose from.
Right. One of the most versatile is zucchini.
Zucchini, huh? I mean, I like it, but...
It's got only about 17 calories per 100 grams. You can even spiralize it into noodles, like a low-calorie pasta substitute.
Zucchini noodles, yeah, I've heard of that. But how do they compare to regular pasta, calorie-wise?
It's a huge difference. 100 grams of pasta has about 131 calories, while zucchini has a mere 17.
Okay, that's a serious difference.
Plus, there's some research suggesting zucchini might help regulate blood sugar levels, which is a nice bonus.
So it's a winner on multiple fronts. What other veggies should we be loading up on?
Well, believe it or not, pickles are a surprisingly good option.
Pickles. Yeah. I always thought of them as pretty salty, maybe not the healthiest.
They can be high in sodium, yeah, good to keep that in mind. But calorie-wise, they're great. A whole cup's only about 17 calories.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they've got that unique tangy flavor, and they come in different varieties, like bread and butter spears with no sugar added.
All right, starting to see pickles in a new light. So we've got noodles, Jell-O, cucumbers, zucchini, even pickles. It's amazing how many options there are for near calorie-free eating.
And we're just getting started. There's a whole world of other foods out there that might surprise you.
Okay, now you've really got me intrigued.
Yeah.
What else is on this list of low-calorie heroes?
Let's talk about watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yeah. Incredibly refreshing and surprisingly low in calories for a fruit. Only about 30 calories per 100 grams serving.
Watermelon for weight loss. That sounds almost too good to be true.
It's that high water content. Watermelon is about 92% water. Helps you feel full without a lot of calories. Plus, some studies have shown it can actually help with weight loss.
So it's not just a delicious summer treat. It's a dietary powerhouse. How about lettuce? I know there's so many different types.
You're right, but they're all super low in calories. On average, a 100-gram serving of lettuce has just 17 calories.
That's pretty low.
And if you want to go even lower, butterhead or red leaf lettuce have only 13 calories per 100 grams.
So we've covered a lot of fruits and veggies, but what about things that aren't exactly foods in the traditional sense? Anything surprising there?
You're thinking outside the box. I like that.
Yeah.
One thing that comes to mind is sugar-free chewing gum.
Chewing gum?
Yeah.
Seriously? Never thought of that as a weight loss tool.
I know it sounds strange, but it can be surprisingly effective. Most sugar-free gums have less than 5 calories apiece.
Okay, that's pretty low.
And research suggests chewing gum can help reduce those cravings, that mindless snacking between meals.
So it's like tricking your brain into thinking you're eating.
Exactly. The act of chewing sends signals to your brain. There's even research from the University of Rhode Island showing people who chewed gum before lunch ate fewer calories during their meal.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. I might have to try that. What else is on this list of surprising low-calorie heroes?
How about celery?
Celery. It's not the most exciting vegetable, but I'm willing to hear you out.
Well, it's got that super high water content, about 95%, and only 14 calories per 100 grams.
Okay, not bad.
But here's where it gets interesting. Some studies suggest celery might have some unique benefits for men,
Oh, like what?
particularly in, well, boosting sperm production.
Hold on. Celery is a fertility booster. That's a new one.
It's an area that needs more research, for sure. But some studies have shown promising results.
Oh, interesting.
And there's more. Celery also contains nitrates, which may help regulate blood pressure.
Okay, so good for the heart.
Yeah. And even address erectile dysfunction, which can be a side effect of high blood pressure. Yeah.
So celery is like a multitasking superhero for men's health. Who knew?
It just goes to show even simple low-calorie foods can pack a punch.
This is all so fascinating. I'm really starting to see low-calorie foods in a whole new light. There's one thing I'm still curious about, though. Diet soda. I always hear such mixed messages. Some people say it's terrible for you. Others claim it can help with weight loss. What's the deal?
Diet soda, the great debate. For a long time, the thinking was that even though it has virtually no calories, those artificial sweeteners, well, they might actually be bad for weight loss.
I've heard that. Something about tricking your body, messing with your hunger signals.
Exactly. The idea was that those sweeteners make your body think it's getting sugar, then when it doesn't, you end up craving more. But recent research suggests that some artificial sweeteners might actually be good for weight loss.
Wait, really? So diet soda could actually help you lose weight?
It seems that way. One study, for example, compared the effects of water and water sweetened with zero-calorie artificial sweeteners on weight loss over a 12-week period. They even followed up a year later to see how participants maintained their weight loss.
So not just a short-term study. Okay. What did they find?
The group that had the artificially sweetened water lost more fat and regained less weight during that maintenance phase. And, get this, they reported feeling less hungry during the diet and had better dietary compliance.
So they lost more, kept it off better, and stuck to the plan more easily.
Exactly. The researchers concluded that these sweeteners could be a useful tool for both weight loss and weight maintenance.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. But what about the long-term health effects of artificial sweeteners? Are there any risks?
That's a valid question. But the good news is, generally, those sweeteners are not harmful as long as you stay within the recommended daily intake. Tons of studies have shown this. The only studies that have found negative side effects involve giving animals ridiculously high doses of sweeteners, far exceeding anything a human would realistically consume.
So moderation is key, as with most things.
Precisely. Enjoy that diet soda in moderation, and you should be good to go.
All right, that makes me feel a bit better about my occasional diet soda. But back to those amazing low-calorie foods. What else do you have for us?
Let's talk about bok choy.
Bok choy, yum. It's so versatile. But I never thought of it as being particularly low in calories.
Well, it is. It's about 95% water and only has 13 calories per 100 gram serving. Plus, it's a fantastic addition to soups, which are generally low in calories and very filling.
That's a good tip. What other low-calorie veggies should we know about?
Radishes are another good one.
Radishes, huh?
Yeah, they're packed with vitamins and minerals, including potassium, vitamin B6, and vitamin C. And they're about 95% water, containing only 16 calories per 100 grams.
I never thought of radishes as a nutritional powerhouse.
They're often overlooked, but they offer a lot of bang for your buck, so to speak. Speaking of, let's talk about salad dressings, which can often be a sneaky source of calories.
Oh, tell me about it. It's so frustrating to put together a healthy salad, then drown it in a high-calorie dressing.
Exactly, but there are some delicious low-calorie alternatives. One option is Walden Farms calorie-free dressings. They have a variety of flavors, all with no fat, carbs, or sugars.
Calorie-free dressings, wow. But what's the catch?
Moderation is key, as always. While they're labeled calorie-free based on serving size, if you overdo it, the calories can sneak up on you. And some people find the taste and texture a bit different from traditional dressings, just something to keep in mind.
So enjoy them, but don't go crazy. What other salad-friendly veggies should we be on the lookout for?
Watercress is another great option.
Watercress.
Yep, it's about 95% water, only 11 calories per 100 grams, and it's rich in those nitrates we talked about earlier.
Good for the heart and the waistline.
Exactly. What about condiments?
Condiments? Oh, yeah. They can really make a meal, but can also be a calorie bomb.
True, but there are plenty of low-calorie options that can add flavor without all the extra calories.
Like what?
Mustard, hot sauce, horseradish sauce, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, and soy sauce are all good choices.
I love that you mentioned condiments. They really can make all the difference. Do you have any specific recommendations?
Sure, mustard has only about 3 calories per teaspoon, and most hot sauces, like Frank's Red Hot, have practically 0 calories. Horseradish sauce has about 6 calories per tablespoon. Salsa has only 4 calories per tablespoon. Heinz reduced sugar ketchup has just 1 gram of sugar and 5 calories per tablespoon. And soy sauce contains only about 9 calories per tablespoon, plus a little protein.
This is great information. So helpful to have some concrete examples. What other low-calorie surprises do you have in store for us?
Let's move on to a fruit that can actually help you sleep better. Kiwi.
Kiwi. I love kiwi, but I've never thought of it as a sleep aid.
Each kiwi has an average of only 42 calories. More than 2 of those calories come from dietary fiber, which, as we know, helps you feel full.
That's interesting.
But get this, research suggests that eating kiwi before bed can actually help you sleep better.
Wait, kiwi can improve sleep. How does that work?
In one study, participants ate 2 kiwis an hour before bed every night for 4 weeks. They found that people fell asleep faster, had better quality sleep, and slept for longer.
Really?
They think it's because kiwis are high in serotonin, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate sleep.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to try that. I'm always looking for natural ways to improve my sleep. What else is on this list of amazing low-calorie foods?
Let's move on to something that's often mistaken for a vegetable, the tomato.
Tomatoes. I thought they were a bit higher in calories.
Not at all. Tomatoes are 95% water and only contain 18 calories per 100 grams.
Wow, I had no idea.
And tomatoes are a nutritional powerhouse. They're one of the best sources of vitamin C and beta-carotene, which support heart health.
Okay, so they're low in calories, ain't good for you.
Exactly. And tomatoes bring us to another super low-calorie food, tomato soup.
Tomato soup. Now that's a comfort food I can get behind. But isn't soup often loaded with calories?
Not necessarily. Tomato soup can be excellent on a diet because it's so effective at satiating hunger. It takes up a lot of space in your stomach without a lot of calories.
I guess that makes sense.
But it does depend on how it's made, of course.
Right, I imagine the homemade version is probably best.
You got it. While there are some decent pre-made tomato soups out there, a lot of them have additions that bump up those calories.
So homemade tomato soup is the way to go. Do you happen to have a recipe you can share?
Absolutely. It's incredibly easy. Start by mixing 500 grams of canned whole tomatoes and juice with 1 chicken stock cube. Then bring it to a boil in a large saucepan or pot, and once it's boiling, sprinkle in some stevia and seasonings like garlic.
That sounds easy enough. And how many calories are we talking about for a bowl of this homemade tomato soup?
Only about 59 calories.
Wow, 59 calories for a satisfying bowl of soup. Sign me up.
And last but certainly not least, we have the ultimate calorie-free beverage, water.
Water, of course. It's essential, and we all know it's calorie-free. But does it really offer any specific weight loss benefits?
You bet. Not only does water have 0 calories, but it can actually help reduce hunger, which can lead to weight loss. Research shows that people who drink water frequently consume an average of 9% fewer calories.
So staying hydrated helps you eat less.
Exactly. And research also shows that drinking water before meals is especially beneficial. One study found that drinking 500 milliliters of water 30 minutes before breakfast lowered total calorie intake by 13%.
Wow, so just a simple glass of water before you eat can make a difference.
It's the little things that count.
You know what's really cool about all this? It's like healthy eating doesn't have to be about deprivation. You don't need crazy, complicated recipes.
It's about finding those simple ingredients that are good for you. A&D taste good.
Exactly, and all these examples really prove that point.
Totally. We've covered so much ground. Miracle noodles, sugar-free Jell-O,
Cucumbers, zucchini, even pickles.
and who could forget watermelon, lettuce, celery, even diet soda,
So many options for people who want to cut back on calories.
without feeling like they're missing out on anything.
Right, and you even gave us that great example of a full course meal that's super low in calories.
Oh yeah, starting with a glass of water to kick things off, then a bowl of that delicious homemade tomato soup.
Followed by a shirataki noodle salad, with all kinds of colorful veggies and a calorie-free dressing.
And for dessert, a slice of watermelon or a kiwi.
All that for only 150 calories.
It's pretty amazing. You can enjoy a satisfying meal and stay within your calorie goals. No deprivation needed.
This whole deep dive has been a real eye-opener. I'm definitely feeling inspired to, get a little more creative in the kitchen with low-calorie foods.
That's what it's all about, finding what works for you and having fun with it.
This has been awesome, but before we wrap up, do you have any, final words of wisdom?
Yeah.
Something you want to leave our listeners with?
Don't be afraid to experiment in the kitchen. There are so many incredible low-calorie foods out there just waiting to be discovered. Remember, even small changes can make a big difference. And every healthy choice you make is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
Well said. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure was mine. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us. Remember, your health is your greatest asset, and the choices you make today can have a huge impact on your future.
Until next time, happy and healthy eating, everyone.